What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of MUT Tips. I'm your host, Sean Taylor from the Made Up Theater. And before we jump in, make sure to like the video, comment with something you would like addressed in a future video. I'd love to hear it. And as always, subscribe on YouTube to be informed of upcoming videos. Now, let's jump into today's topic, 3 tips to yes and stronger. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced improviser, the concept of yes and is pretty much cemented in your head on day one. You know, to sum it up, it's very simply just 2 magic words. Acceptance with the yes word and addition with the and word, right? It's how we build scenes. I like to sum it up with just 1 word though, okay, that encapsulates both acceptance and addition, and that is going to be the word reaction, okay? So if somebody comes into an improv scene and says, "I'm pregnant," it causes a reaction in the fellow improviser that's with them. They accept it by just showing them an immediate emotional response and add on to the idea with, you know, their action. You know, do they start crying? Do they start celebrating? That is where the yes and comes in with the reaction. But let's jump into 3 tips to help do it a little bit stronger. Tip number 1 is repeat and react. So this goes into reinforcing the yes. I think sometimes improvised dialogue can get lost. You know, we're not truly in the moment reacting to what was just said. So a great exercise for this, or just something you can even just do on stage during a scene, is just to repeat what your partner said back at them and then add on with the and. I do this exercise all the time. It's really helpful. So for example, with the line, "I'm pregnant," if I received that, I would say, "You're pregnant?" And then I would give a response, okay? Like, "You're pregnant? I'm gonna be a dad, I'm gonna be a dad," you know? Like I use the repetition as a way to get settled into the emotion, and then based on the emotion that I found, then I deliver my line with more information, you know? And you could go back and forth, repeating. That's a great exercise. Obviously, you wouldn't probably do it in a show constantly, but anytime you feel kind of stuck or stumped on what to say, repeat what they just said back at them, you know? Change the pronouns so that it is reflected directly back at them, and then add on. Tip number 2 is linking, which is similar to repetition, but it's gonna be a little bit more honed down into like one specific, okay? So this means taking a word from what your partner said in a scene and using that word in the next line of dialogue, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be the main focus of your line of dialogue, but still use it so that it does indeed impact you. So for example, if there's an improvised scene where somebody came in and said, "Derek, man, you haven't given me this month's rent. What's up, man?" You know, and I could respond to that by taking a specific word. So I might say, "Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm a little behind on this month's rent, man. I'll get it to you at the end of the day. Right now, though, I'm in the middle of a Call of Duty tournament," you know? So I use this month's rent in my line of dialogue, and my scene partner can use something from my line of dialogue. Like they might say, "What is wrong with you, Derek? Every single day you're in the middle of a Call of Duty tournament. I need rent now, or dude, you might be gone," you know? And then boom, I can respond to that. "Wait, whoa, gone? You're just gonna kick me out on the streets?" "Yeah, bro, because you know, if you can't do your duty in life, you're gonna be out on the street." And boom, we're just constantly reacting by taking a word or a phrase and just cementing it in our line of dialogue to show that acceptance. And it does keep the scene connected. That's the one thing we want to do when we improvise, is to be connected. So try that out. And tip number 3 is take it personally. And this could be connected to tips 1 and 2 because you can use those tips to take it more personally. This means just being affected by everything that your partner says, even if it's mundane. Like my partner could come into the room and say, "Hey, your shoe's untied," you know? And that's a very like simple line of dialogue. You know, usually you'd be like, "Oh, thanks, man," and then tie my shoe, and then nothing happens. It's just kind of like, you know, informing me of a little problem. But I can take it personally, okay? And this doesn't mean like be offended by it. It just means it impacts me in a truly strong way. So I might be like, look down and be like, "Oh my God, man, you saved my life. Like, I have very brittle bones. If I had tripped, I'd be dead," you know? And then my scene partner, like, they could take it personally too, or they could also be like more of like the straight-laced character and be like, "Oh, no problem, man. It's just, I'm trying to help," you know? And then I could take it even more personally. It's like, "You did more than help me, man. You bought me another decade, another 2, 3 decades. I might go on to be a scientist that cures the common cold," you know? It's just taking it personally, and yeah, it could encompass any emotion, okay? A lot of people, when I say take it personally, they think like they have to be offended or get angry. Don't feel like that. just anything that your partner says, give it emotional weight with your response, okay? Even if you have to pause, let it impact you, maybe even repeat it in your head or out loud, and just let it settle in so that you give that strong, personally affected reaction. Try that out. And those are my 3 tips. And hey, right now, obviously we might be a little more disconnected. We can't always improvise with another person. You could do this stuff by yourself. I just did, right? Just start a scene with just a line of dialogue, maybe a mundane line of dialogue, and react to it. I have a video all about doing solo scenes. Feel free to check that out as a way to implement these tips if you are by yourself. But other than that, hey, go online on Zoom, do it with your fellow improvisers, and have some fun. And that concludes this episode of MUT Tips, everybody. Thank you so much. Again, like, comment, and subscribe to be informed about upcoming videos. Visit madeuptheater.com for information about our online shows and our online classes. Everything is virtual right now for the foreseeable future. Other than that, I'll see you next time for another episode of MUT Tips. Bye.